This time on First Impressions, the polling stations for the European elections. Ladies, gentlemen, and all other gender-specific pronouns, this is Two in the Bush. I am Shaun, and I'm joined as ever in the bush by Timothy Broad.
Hello.
Hello. How are you this fine day?
I am average.
You are average.
Absolutely
Just
plumb
on that
average.
line.
I was on a low last week because I went back to college,
Yes.
and I used to love it.
But now it's...
I don't hate it. I've
You're
lost.
indifferent to it.
Something's just not meshing with me anymore.
I think it's probably the amount of times that your teachers have said, "That's not what you're doing, Tim."
No, it's what it is. It's just a very particular writing style they like.
Oh, right.
And they are... The foundation course, what they do is very much expressive, but not like, I don't know, don't get the wrong impression, it's like a weeby thing. It's not like, I don't know, pretty flowers and...
Hang on, a weeby thing?
Weeby, yeah.
But if it's a weeby thing, then it'd be quite big. It would be large eyes, quite exaggerated breasts, and cherry blossoms.
Okay, not weeby. It's not arty-farty. It's,
okay, right.
They like intense art.
Intense
They
art?
like intense art.
Art that
They
punches you in the face.
They challenges perceptions of what art can be.
Sorry, I just love this idea of... I want to... This is really challenging my perception. No, it's just drawing of a boat. I feel like you should go to Specsavers.
I work differently. My approach to art is different. Same difference.
Well, perception is one of your big things, but it's doing all the maths to figure out if you can make it look like you're in a hallway, even though you're in a bit of cardboard.
I'm just not an angry person. I'm not a feminist. I'm like nothing. I'm just so.
Oh, by the way, when Tim says he's not a feminist, by that he means he's not a militant feminist.
Right. I'm not angsty about anything. I'm the most passive vegetarian, if there is such a thing.
That's a fair point, actually.
Nah, it's yours.
Well, given some of the climate change protests that's been going on recently, maybe.
Right. I recycle so much.
You do,
but I don't go on protests. I'm just not an angry person. I don't feel.
In many ways, you buy bottles of drink mainly to recycle the bottle more than to quench the thirst.
There you go. That's what I do. No, what do I do?
You wash them out as well, which is commitment to the cause.
I asked my friends if they've got anything they want to recycle they don't want to take home, because they've got to get buses and trains. Just thinking, I'll just take it home.
Can you recycle the bus?
Probably, yeah.
I mean, I doubt it'll fit in your bin, but you know.
Nah,
we can find a way.
We got away with bits of shed roof. So
bits of shed roof.
Yeah, the shed roof came off.
Oh right,
and
okay.
It was really windy.
Right, okay.
Put some of it in the bin.
For some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason, I was just thinking that it was lead, and you just nicked it.
That happened to my uncle.
Of course it did. Of course, Tim. We already know that your
different
family
uncle.
is different uncle. We were talking about an uncle of Tim's.
It's my great uncle.
But given that your family is rather, let's say, matured.
Yes.
Of course, one of your members of your family is going to be victim of a crime from the 1950s.
Well, it happened.
Was it in the 1950s?
No, early 2000s.
Right. Okay.
So that was the thing. Sorry, you asked how am I?
We've gone on to your great uncle getting lead nicked off his roof.
He's all right. I'm all right. I'm 5 out of 10.
Good. I, just in case you're interested, listeners, I'm probably at around a 6.5 or 7. I'd say.
You're on a
7's a bit of maybe a stretch, but I would say that
if you can't, right, I'm going to say now, listeners, all one of you, if you can't say, if somebody says between 1 and 10, and you give a half, just die. You've got 10 options to choose from. That's enough. You don't need 20 options. What are you, 6 or 7? Don't say 6.5. Don't be awkward. You got 20 things. You got 10 options. Okay, from 1 to 10.
What if I don't play by your rules?
Well, I don't know what.
We'll say 6 then.
Bam.
We'll say
There you
6.
go.
I swear you must have used halves before.
No, I never use half.
In one of our things we've rated things, which is weirdly
No.
often.
No, I don't. From 1 to 10. 10 options is enough.
Okay.
Okay? Okay?
Okay.
10 is enough.
You're straight down the middle.
You don't need 20 options.
No. Well, to be fair, though, I don't. When you have like halves, I think that's only actually going to come in the middle numbers.
Well, like,
Talking psychology, nobody's going to say I'm feeling a 0. How are you feeling out of 10? And you say a half.
you're on the brink. You're just on the brink.
Well, what would 0 be in that situation?
It's just over.
Well, already over. So,
over.
Well, so there's no point in asking because it's hanging from a tree.
Exactly.
It's got quite dark. We need to get onto wordplay quickly. We need to get it sharpish. Anyway, right, so Tim, as I just remembered to set the timer for the thing, this week you have won, or you could win, sorry, a bug collector that's also a breed of dog. He's thinking. I hope you can hear the breathing there.
Intense breathing.
I have a weird. By the way, just quickly going off topic. I feel like much like episode 40, this is going to be a rambly one. But I tend to when I'm not thinking. Well, obviously not thinking about your breathing all the time because otherwise that'd be hell. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I don't know when I'm concentrating. My breathing starts getting really heavy, but also very not frequent.
That's like mine. Well, do you remember I used to do exams and I just used to hold my breath?
Oh, you held your breath.
In my old maths exams, I remember a friend of mine at primary school, year 6, when we were practicing for, what was all the exams there?
Yeah, SATs.
SATs. I would just hold my breath for like 20 seconds. That's not particularly long, but not trying. And then I just go...
But it's not helpful, particularly since you're using your brain and you're starving it of oxygen.
Yeah, I think it's... I don't know, because I guess I'm not physically moving. My breathing just really slows down.
I think with me, it's just quite deep breaths. And then, again, I use it up, so it's like.
I can hear the gentle clock. Okay, I was about to say,
Or something like that.
No.
Which is a pain, particularly since when I'm trying to record music, humble brag. With acoustic instruments, I occasionally
pass out.
No, I know. I occasionally, when I'm listening back to it, I think, "Is that a good? This is a good take. I got all the notes right," and I just hear a kind of, "Damn it!" I was recording something and I cut a bit out because I had a bit of a breath in because it's in this bit. It was meant to be quite quiet. And it's basically just one note, and I thought that would really take you away. It'd be basically just one note in the mix. There's nothing else there, so I thought I have to get rid of that. But then when I listened back, because I cut all of the audio there, it just sounded really unnatural.
Oh.
I
have a question. Music question.
Yes.
You know, guitar?
Yeah,
all varies of stringed instruments.
Okay. Like a sitar.
Sitar. Well, okay.
Mandolin.
All of them. You know when you either pluck... Normally it's the plucky ones.
The plucky ones? Okay. So not violins.
Not violins.
You can pluck violins. That's
you can.
Very sharp. So
but sometimes they create like... It's sort of like a really mini screechy sound where I think it's where your finger runs along it.
Oh.
Rather than plucking, you've accidentally sort of run along it just a little bit. And it creates that little squeaky sound. I don't know how best to make this. It's like a mild squeak.
What, so it's on pluck then? So this was...
When you're... Just as you're going to pluck, you accidentally just ever so slightly run your finger on it. So it kind of creates like a kind of... Not quite a harsh screechy
But it's
sound.
very subtle.
Yeah. I don't mind it.
Well, I think it's one of those things where occasionally you can't really stop
It just happens.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes if it happens a lot, it gets annoying.
Yes.
But sometimes I just think it makes it seem more real. It's how you know if it's a synth guitar player because they haven't made a single
it's not like
screech sound.
Which it tends to happen a lot in with hip hop beats where they get a they think, okay, this bit's going to be done by a guitar, and then instead of playing out the thing on the guitar, they just get a note from a guitar, put it in your sampler, and then play it on chords on the MIDI keyboard.
Yeah. So you just
So it has the same consistency each time.
Sure. I just think it needs to be. It's like. Yeah, that's my question.
Right,
Is that a normal thing to happen?
Yeah, I quite like the kind of noise that you can get when you're from the other side of the string, I suppose, from the fretting hand. If you're moving down or up the board, you just get a little noise from the string on that side.
Oh, it might be that.
It could be. It could just be that.
It's not when you're plucking.
Yeah, it could be.
Because when you're,
because if you're just slide,
yes,
it's a bit
that's
like
the
a
noise.
slide. Okay,
It's like a slight squeak. It's like a slidey
kind of,
squeak.
it's a bit inadvertent slide.
Yeah.
Not a deliberate slide, because then the whole
Because if you're doing it properly, you let go and then reapply.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just go for a bit of a cheeky slide.
If you need to do it quickly, or if it's typically if it's just the same chord shape but a bit higher or lower on the fretboard, it just makes sense because you're already playing that chord to just kind of very lightly take your finger off, and then go back rather than taking your whole hand off and putting it back. But anyway, with the wordplay. So it was a bug collector that's also a breed of dog.
A bug collector.
Yes.
Is that like the hobby?
Yeah.
There's a hobby.
Yes.
But I don't know what it's called. I know there's one for butterflies. But I can't remember the name of the hobby is. It's like it's like someone who gets collects they get butterflies, they gas them, and then they put pins in them and And it sounds like, it's like people who like to preserve animals.
Yeah. I think you're thinking of
it's like taxidermy.
Bit like taxidermy, but for bugs.
So
you can't really stuff bugs.
No, they just gas them, and then they kind of pin them to things and try and make. It's kind of like taxidermy.
As pin them to garden wall as a warning for other butterflies.
Oh shit! What's the name of the hobby? And I guess because I can't remember the name of the hobby, am I on the right wavelength?
You are on the right length.
It's the name of the practice of
bug collecting.
Bug collecting.
With a word in there that can be.
And then it can. Oh, there's so many species of dogs. Oh, forget it. What is it?
It is a coleopterist.
Okay, what's the thing for collecting insects?
A coleopterist.
Coleopterist.
Border collie.
Yeah. I said. Oh. News! I saved 2 bees.
2 bees?
I've saved 2 bees. I gave one apple juice and I gave one sugar water.
Right, okay, that's...
Both were walking Bonnie.
But the bees were walking Bonnie?
No, I was walking Bonnie.
Oh, right, okay.
I had to see bees that are struggling. I'm like, I'm going to put you somewhere higher up. That's in the shade.
And then drop you.
And then drop you. Put you higher up. I used to be terrified of them, but I just don't care much.
I occasionally get a little bit spooked by bees just because... I'm not scared of the thing, but it's just... It's the idea of you can just be... No, it's not actually even the idea of getting stung. It's you're just going about your business, and then suddenly, before you even know it, there's a right in your ear.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh Jesus! Don't do that! Don't sneak up on me.
Oh, that happened in the bathroom.
Right. Okay.
That scared me shitless. He got into the extractor fan.
Oh shit!
And he just I was just on the toilet, and all I hear I hear a light, and then I'm like, okay, that's a bee outside, and it's really loud because the extractor fan's just above my head.
Look at the waveform on that. Jesus,
yeah, it was terrifying.
Yeah,
I can't make sense. Oh, you were going to say
that. Yeah, I actually got. I don't know if I told this last week, but for 2 days in a row, I got woken up to the sound of a bee ramming against my window that was in the room. You
had wasps in your room as well, didn't you? Or was it bees?
No, it was bees.
Oh, it was bees, not wasps.
But the thing with bees is that it's a sort of kind of thin worker bee, not a bumblebee.
I had one worker bee and one bumblebee.
Right. So but the thing is, I'm convinced it was the same bee because bees are weird.
Yeah,
despite the fact that this did not benefit this bee at all, the fact that I just thought this cannot be 2 different bees.
It's the same one who's made the same.
And so, because for a while, the very small window that I have in my bedroom, it was just not really able to close properly. It would just kind of get almost there, but not quite, and it'd just be a little bit. But I used to keep it that way partly because there was always a bit of fresh air coming into the room. Mm-hmm. And partly because it didn't really matter, breeze-wise. unless it was really windy, because by habit I always have my curtains closed.
I do that as well. No, actually,
But
no,
I have a
used
reason.
to, but not anymore.
Yeah, I have a reason for my curtains to be closed. It's because there's with the way that our house is on the street, you've got a triangle of streets, but our one has a dip in it, and our house is right in the middle of it is literally in the middle of our street, and it's right in the dip. Which is what I always say to the taxi drivers when I'm driving them, when they say, "Oh, whereabouts?" But
the dip.
but there is a disadvantage with this, and that is that one of the houses right on right by the corners of one of the triangle of streets, they have a little light that comes on in the garden, which is meant to see if just in case anybody's broken in.
Burglars.
But the problem is that there's cats and foxes
and
badgers and
I
seagulls
used to get the same problem
that go through that, and I'm also very light sensitive when I'm trying to get to sleep. So every night I would just used to get these. And the problem with this light is where, due to elevation and everything, it would beam directly into my bedroom window.
I used to have that problem as well. I think, but the neighbours got rid of that light in the end, just because how annoying it got, because it always goes off.
Yeah, but
how do we even go to talk on to? It was about saying bees and animals.
yeah.
Actually, I failed the wordplay. That's a shame.
Before we forget, you want to do this week's band name?
Go for it.
We found a decent what we thought was a band name when we came in here with the 3 Second Memories.
3 Second Memories, yeah.
Which is former band, I think of. Well, Tim isn't entirely. You're not entirely sure yourself, but if somebody who you know, it be a former band. But this week's band name is Operation Storm Fury.
Operation was promising.
Yes.
Storm Fury, they are trying quite hard.
Yes,
I'm afraid.
I feel like it is a try-hard band, this one.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to say this is a pop-punk band.
Oh, right, okay.
This is like, I'm going to say... I know you're going to hate me.
I'll be... No, it's fine.
21 Pilots vibes.
Well, maybe not 21 Pilots. I think that's...
I'm getting Fall Out Boy vibes.
Probably closer to Fall Out Boy, yes.
I'm getting... Who's the other one? There's like 3 of them in there.
Well, depending on who you ask.
Fall Out Boy...
But it really depends on who you ask, really, because there's the trio of bands, and there's the ones that... And there's two bands that have stuck around, and one got kind of replaced because they broke up.
Who was that?
That was My Chemical Romance.
And then...
yes.
So what are they now? Or what were they? My Chemical Romance swam to them. They broke up. Yes. Now what are they now?
Well, they're not. Well, they're just individual musicians.
Oh, they just got.
They're not in this kind of trio because then 21 Pilots kind of slid into that place. Filled that gap.
Right, there you go. So that's what was it.
The other one you're looking for is Panic at the Disco. Who is not pop punk anymore.
Oh, I'm to them.
Well, none of them are really as pop punk as they. Well, Fallout. 21 Pilots were never pop punk. It's more the content of the lyrics, but particularly Fall Out Boy and Panic at the Disco have just skewed more and more pop wise, which is fine. They still make decent music.
Yeah.
But I suppose when you've got a career that goes on for so long, you want to change up your stuff. You're going to just do something that should get you the most money. And I can tell you, I'm 100% sure that Panic is now fully pop. I know that Fall Out Boy was, because they tried doing some weird pops like dubstep stuff with their last album, which did not work because it was about 3 years too late for a start. but to be fair though, they did release an EP with a kind of old song which they reworked and it sounded amazing. It wasn't a dubstep song. I should stress it was just an old. That was Fall Out Boy.
That was Fall Out Boy.
Yes. I know about Panic is because it's one guy now. Panic is one guy. It's Brendan Urie and touring musicians. And I know that he's pop because he was a guest vocalist on Taylor Swift's latest single.
How do you just keep up? Question.
But YouTube recommended. That's how.
You see, mine's just fully ingrained into my kind of jam. Maybe what I was saying earlier, I get frustrated at music. I don't. There's not.
I've been trying to I've been trying to recommend you to listen to Cave Town for ages, man.
You just listened to that one.
Yeah, I know, and then you just didn't again, even though you said you enjoyed it. It was bizarre.
Don't know. I'm sorry.
But anyway,
So what's the name of this band again? They were...
It was Operation Storm Fury.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe less pop punk, but I think more... It sounds to me like a sort of band that would... It sounds like the sort of band when it's like, oh, how did you meet? Oh, we just all went to school together. And it doesn't go very far.
Yeah.
It's just...
Went to school together.
They were just all in the music class, and they thought, well, we could be a band and not realise any of the implications that could have. And then it just failed, and they didn't really release any proper material. They just did a couple of live shows and then stopped.
Have I mentioned about the band that kind of rents out a building down some steps near where I live? They're actually pretty good.
Oh yeah, because that's technically called like Old Town Studios or something. But,
yeah.
Which kind of isn't really.
No.
Particularly since Old Town Studios, when you click on the thing on Google Maps, it takes you to a shop in the Old Town.
It takes you to the bookshop, isn't it? The bookshop in the Old Town.
I think it's a bookshop or something like that.
It's weird.
Weird. Actually, speaking of, rather fittingly, one of my things I want to talk about in Beating Around the Bush is a quirk that I discovered recently on Google Maps.
What's that?
Well, I'll just set up a bit of story. This week I've been a bit busy. For example, this week I haven't put up a Through the Bush episode on Tuesday like I try to do. And we've got a filler thing, but hopefully that'll be up soon. But you know, I've been busy mainly because at last minute I got asked by St Michael's Hospice, who I work for, to cover somebody's round. And it's around kind of a Blackman Avenue kind of way.
Where, sir? Was it
Quite
called,
close
sir?
to Blackman Avenue.
Say it again?
Blackman Avenue. It is spelt Blackman Avenue, Tim.
You're in
I know that's why you wanted to...
You just went, it's still on Blackman Avenue. I was like, huh?
But I just didn't think that you...
Wow.
Well, look, that's just what it's called.
That name needs to change.
But it's not actually on the road Blackman Avenue, but it also is Blackman Avenue, because that's how you say it. But it's around that sort of area. But I was expecting that to be a flare-up. It's not... What I'm going to do isn't going to be worth it now. But basically, I was... Because it's just a couple of small streets around there. Mm-hmm. Blackman Avenue is a name of... It's basically the big road that goes down... It goes past... it goes on to Harley Shoot, which is where the Haven is.
I don't know.
Okay, no.
It's alright, it's fine.
But, I
do know!
Oh, right, okay.
I do know
It's
now.
also fine.
Okay, I'm good now.
But, one of the things that I'm wanting to do is just... Sorry, because I didn't really know the area that well. I know roughly where everything is, but I just wanted to look on Google Maps to see if there's any kind of shortcuts I could take. I was. And right at the end of the route, there's a couple of ones on a road called Regland Rise.
Regland
Rise.
Wow.
It's a
His name's not aged
relatively modern housing estate.
Okay.
And I was just looking on that because I'd finished what I was doing, but then I noticed, hang on, that's a little museum indicator there. Is there a museum at Regland Rise?
And was there?
No, I zoomed in, and the thing it has here is it has number 1 Regland Rise.
Okay.
And I'm going to click on it, and I think, oh, is that a museum? It's listed as a museum.
Oh dear,
It isn't a museum.
It just ran out of icons. Is there no way to describe it?
It's just someone's house.
Wow.
Look, for example, the images that we have.
It's just their house.
The images are of somebody's pet parrot.
Wow.
The person who I assume owns the house.
Okay.
A letterbox with a wire going in it.
What?
And then the Google thing for where it is.
Wow, that is really random.
It's just bizarre. I particularly like that it has the phone number there, but it has website, and it's www.bbc.com.
Wait,
www.bbc.com. There isn't a dot between the www.
Does the link work?
Oh no.
Have you clicked on it?
Oh no, but I doubt it's going to work.
See what
No, it could be full of viruses, Tim. But my particular
And
favourite...
phones get viruses.
They probably would. Look, Tim, they could.
Yeah, probably.
But my particular favourite is the reviews. It has one review.
Let me just say
It's 5 stars.
What does it say?
It's from... And if you're... I doubt you're listening, but if you are, hello. It's from a man called Jack Leavesley. 5 stars, taken 2 years ago. He's done 2 reviews in total. And it just says, good. This is the sort of thing that's going on where we live.
Do you reckon there was a museum in that area?
No.
It never was a museum.
No. Somebody just wanted to put... Basically, I think this happened because this person had just moved into this house.
Yeah.
And it was probably just before they had the automatic home icon. So they thought, I need to put someone on this map so I always know where I am, and just did that.
Oh, they made a
Maybe.
museum.
Maybe. I don't know.
Ah.
But you know what? Why I brought
Maybe
up...
they thought M meant my house.
Maybe.
M, my house, not museum. Isn't
But
it like an
you
M
know
in a
what?
hut?
You know what the depressing thing about this is?
What?
Is that this is a thing that is not real. It's just someone's house, has weird pictures on it, has one more review than this podcast.
Oh.
Actually, on that note, quickly, while I'm talking about stuff that happened with what I was doing at work, is that I actually, earlier this week, it was yesterday on Day of Record, I did a dementia awareness thing set up by an organisation called Dementia Friends. It's a spin-off of the Alzheimer's Society. And it's quite an interesting thing. It's good to know how you should treat people who may have dementia, not to patronise them and stuff like that. And it had a little thing at the end where it said, do you want to kind of join us, and what you can, some actions that you can take. And I thought, well, this is almost peer pressure, but I'll say yes. And one of the things is that you can get a badge, and it says to tell 5 people about Dementia Friends. And now, given it's on this podcast, that's probably 4 of the 5. So,
Why are you telling me about Dementia Friends?
No reason. No, I'm kidding, Tim. I'm kidding.
Wait.
No, it's just something that I did.
Well,
The joke was the 4 of the 5.
oh.
You've just been stumped by this because you're still just saying to yourself, museum.
I am.
Unless it was a memorial to this parrot and it's died.
Oh, it could be.
I hope not.
This parrot was just...
But then why would you just review a memorial to a parrot with good?
It's a good parrot. It's just a good,
I rate that parrot.
It was just a good parrot.
Well, that's Hastings for you.
I was talking about Google Maps. I was going to say, but then I completely forgotten, which is a real shame.
Do you have any rough idea where it was going?
Nope.
Okay.
It's gone.
I could take over with another story here because this is something that I heard today, and I thought I've got to write this down.
Go for it.
So I think I just done the shopping. I think with my
I
dad.
remember.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. I'll let you do the story.
The story where somebody drew a penis on my house.
Oh,
On the roof.
I thought you said
On
our
Google
house. I
Earth.
thought it was
Obviously
is there a
Google
penis
Earth.
on this house?
And Google Earth eventually went over it. Or it was like a phone number. Somebody
Right,
put something
okay.
on the roof of their house and only a satellite could ever see it, or a plane going over. I would want to do that.
Yeah.
Because nobody would ever know. Actually, it wouldn't necessarily welcome... No, people would see it, I think. Damn it. I'll think about how I'm going to immortalise me living in this house when I eventually move out of it.
Okay, right. Okay, that's noble of you. But
The world can know I was there.
yes.
I'll put my phone number on it if you see this.
I mean, I would say if you work hard enough, they put a nice little blue plaque on the wall.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I'm going to become... I don't know.
You're going to be the famed architect who said who looked at the cathedral in Barcelona. It had just been finished and thought, "This is all crap. I'm going to do it again." Anyway, so I was talking to them. We just done the shopping. I think the radio was on, and I think I think I was... I can't remember how it came up, but the discussion came... I think Dad brought up the situation that Chris Packham has had recently.
Yeah, what's going on with Chris?
Well,
Packham? He was anti-bird shooting.
Yes, and then he's been sent death threats.
And 2 dead magpies attached to his fence.
Yes.
Was it magpies or blackbirds?
Well, I don't know. If I were to guess, I'd say blackbirds.
Oh, and I also heard about the story where somebody sent him... Oh, I hope I don't want to kill your story.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's actually to do with this, but it's... Because it takes a weird turn.
It's where
well, not a weird turn, but it's
threw
logical,
a
but
block
it's interesting.
of wood that had a penis on it. And that was it.
Was that over your fence when we were doing a barbecue?
No, it wasn't. No, but this
We were
happened
doing a barbecue earlier this year,
Chris
and
Packham.
the children that lived next door threw a door
Why are
handle
people
over
just
the
so
fence.
angry at him?
Well,
What's he
it's
doing?
farmers. Farmers are a rambunctious bunch. But anyway, but the point is that he was saying that they were saying it must be quite scary to get death threats, and I don't know whether it's just living in the Twitter world, but I just said, well, I mean, it's obviously not amazing to open a letter and to see that somebody says, if you do this, I will kill you. But if anything, to me, that confirms that actually narrows it down as one fewer person who's going to kill you.
That's a good point.
Because and Dad said, like, well, if you but these are clearly aggressive people. It's like, well, no, they're not going to do it. And it's like, how many murderers do you know? Like, I don't know any. And so I said, but just think, okay, let's say hypothetically you want to kill someone.
Mm-hmm. You don't announce that you want to kill them.
Yeah, that's the point I made.
Yeah,
and he said, I said that's a fair point. And I just said, do you know anybody who's announced that they wanted to kill someone? And he says, no. Oh, actually, though, there was this one thing. I was like, do go on.
What?
And apparently, when he was a young lad in the pub scene in Frittenden, Kent, he said he knew someone. He wasn't like friends with him, but he kind of knew him, and he's kind of, he's the sort of person who it's better to know them and make sure they're on your side than on other people's sides. So big lad, and apparently he's.
This is going to be an interesting story. Oh, the alarm going off.
There's an alarm time going off, but he'd had a row with someone.
Yeah.
In the pub, and for whatever reason, the row concluded, and he saw it as unfinished business. So
SpaghettiOs.
he found out where this guy lived.
Wait, your dad did?
No, this is the guy who he was talking about.
The
My dad has nothing to do with.
Sorry, I
he
thought
just
your
heard
dad
about
was
this.
trying to pick a fight with the guy.
No.
Okay.
No, and he found out where he lived, and then sent him a fake letter bomb to spook him. And this was in the early 1970s. So this was just when the IRA had started doing this.
No.
And it was made out of plasticine. And it came with a little note saying, if you piss me off again, it'll be a real one.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it was a little note that said, if you piss me off again, it'll be a new one.
Yeah.
In his own handwriting,
Smart.
which got him rumbles.
Oh, he's so dumb. The classic thing you have to do is get like letters. The classic thing you have to do is get letters from like a newspaper.
Yeah,
That's how you do it.
I mean,
Although, it's still stupid to do, because if you piss somebody off and you've all of a sudden received this, you go, oh, I know who that's from.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That's a really, really daft... I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's just not a smart idea.
From what I heard, the guy, from more tales about this guy, apparently he claimed that he worked as a mercenary, but apparently, from what my dad could tell, you could tell he was kind of full of bullshit.
Of course he was.
So maybe it
if you're a mercenary, you don't tell
exactly.
people you're a mercenary.
Well, about part-time mercenary.
I'm a part.
So I suppose there's more motivation to tell someone if you're a full-time mercenary.
Oh yeah, I'm just a part-time hitman. As you do.
Just whenever the business comes in.
It's just.
And on that note, I think should we move on?
We shall move on.
One in the hand. This is the best jingle we could come up with. Go ahead and try to make a better one.
Oh,
What was that?
it's all right. We're good.
We'll carry on. One in the hand.
Hello.
Hello. Well, you just started off like it's the beginning of the actual podcast.
I did.
You actually just heard me say, and joining me as ever in the bush. So, for those of you wondering what the hell is One in the Hand, what we do every week is we compile our own top trump set, essentially. But instead of having a theme throughout the whole deck, like, say, big cats or Doctor Who characters.
Yeah. Or skyscrapers.
Or skyscrapers.
Don't diss the skyscrapers.
We just do it based on anything that we can think of in life. No restrictions on that. We generally try and keep a theme of what we talk about once per week each week, but which we will get on to. But overall, there are no limits. For example, so far in our deck, we have the likes of Admiral Akbar, the Chuckle Brothers, the front side of the Titanic, Prince Philip, Cones, and Theodore Roosevelt, along with many more.
Yeah.
And you might be thinking, well, that's all well and good, but how exactly do you rate these cards? Because each card should have 6 number values. What can you do for all of life? Well, I came up with these cards, I will say, and the things I came up with, couldn't think of the word there. It was speed. I think that's quite good. That works.
Damage.
You've jumped the gun.
Fuck.
It's intelligence. Because then the joke comes in. You pour this section so far. The joke that comes in is that then I got a bit stuck, so I went with what I know. So the other 4 are style, control, damage, and aggression. Robot Wars. Yeah. But Tim.
I'm still chuffed with my robot design.
Yeah. We should have done that. Also, in terms of our big ideas that we've had, it turns out there is going to be a Red Bull soapbox race this year, but we missed it and we should have entered.
I haven't got any building materials.
We could buy them.
I can't build.
Got you?
No.
Not even Lego.
I can make it out of Lego. Thought that would cost a fortune.
And be really uncomfortable on the ride down.
Ooh, and just disintegrate.
Yes, and be about yay big.
Yeah, it just wouldn't work.
But Tim, what is our theme this week?
Terrible live action films. Actor, characters. Very specific.
To celebrate the Sonic the Hedgehog live action movie trailer releasing.
The film that everybody asked for.
To be fair, look, I think if it had been animated, I think that it could have been a very good film. In the sense of not knowing any plot details, but as a kids' film, if it was entirely animated, it could be quite good. Mm-hmm. In the same way that some you could even, I mean, some of the best films of the last few years have been animated films, like Into the Spider-Verse, Lego Movie.
Yeah.
Live action with a CGI, no.
We have a few that we'd like to mention.
Yeah,
that we're not. So, do you want to say Should we say which one should we be representing, or do we say that after? Which one were you doing again? I've forgotten.
We'll get to that one. You know which one you're doing.
Yeah, I know which one I'm doing. Or character.
I mean, I can reveal that the one that didn't quite make the cut was the Alvin and the Chipmunks movie.
And Woody Woodpecker.
And the fact that they were... The thing with the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies is the fact they weren't good, but they just kept happening.
Yeah.
There's more of them. It's like, how are you doing this? Who's giving you this money?
Who wants this?
Yeah, it's...
Who wants this? Not many people are aware of the Woody Woodpecker live action film, but he made one.
I was unaware. Completely unaware.
It's forgettable.
I just like the idea that it's really low budget, and it's like indie B movie low budget, and it's basically just a man in a turkey costume hitting his head on a tree. This is my life. This is how depressed I am.
It's like B movie, but like animation B movie, where it's just badly animated, like so lazy. There's only one animated element to it, and it is just the woodpecker and his crap. And all the budget was just clearly spent on it, and it just was too much.
Right. Okay.
So can I represent?
Yes, you can.
Shaggers
from
the Scooby-Doo films. I've watched. How many have I watched now? I think I've watched 2 of them or 1 of them. I can't remember.
Wait, there was more than 1 of them?
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3. I can't remember them all. But I watched
Jesus.
it, and you know what? It is bad. I'm not going to lie. It's bad.
Right. I mean, I didn't expect it to be good.
But it's fine. It's actually fine. It's bad. Because it just doesn't work. Scooby-Doo was a self-contained 20-minute long episode.
Kind of
15
got
minutes.
everything, and
It didn't need to be a film, but
No.
they made it, and it was as good as it needed to be.
to show
bad.
that they shouldn't make it again, but
Exactly.
then they did.
But it's fun. It is fun. It's so cheesy, but it's just it's beautiful. So I'm going to bring up Shaggers. Obviously, he was a meme in
He was a meme.
2018.
It's a bizarre meme.
Shaggers.
In many ways, I think that the Shaggers meme shows exactly where meme culture went. If you look at it from 2012, from to stuff like, I don't know, like Grumpy Cat or Why You Know Blank or
Yeah.
the Thoughtful Dinosaur. Mm-hmm. Where it's gone to, where meme culture has gone to, is bizarre.
Well, it seems like it went from things that are spawned on the internet, just it was born on the internet really,
Yeah.
to then kind of all based around nostalgia for our generation, and maybe people that are a little bit older than us, like top at most 10 years older than us, of our people of our generation, nostalgia from the past, and now memes about now, right this very second, all the time are happening about those randomest things.
Yeah. Also, I can't tell whether the internet actually likes the memes that it's creating. It's like it's been so long. Do people actually just want to listen to All Star?
It's a good song.
It is a decent song, yeah.
Anyway, Shaggers.
Shaggers.
So yeah, actor. What's his name again? I just looked it up a second ago. The name of the
Go
actor
ahead.
is. His name is Matthew Lillard.
Lillard. Do you have to say all the Lillard?
And he is just a cool guy. He's just a really cool guy. He's been the voice actor for years, and he's just he doesn't look much like Shaggy anymore.
But if you look like Scooby-Doo, then that'd be a concern.
He's 49.
Does he still get Shaggy gigs, so to speak?
I don't.
As
I'll have a
in
look.
his work, not like.
I'll have a look. He's done more than.
I reckon this is going to be the sort of thing where you can find it and he's available for bookings.
His last film was. Oh, of course it is. Scooby-Doo and the Curse of the 13th Ghost that's coming out in 2019.
Curse of the 13th Ghost. Is it like a really long
Oh, it's an animation.
long-running series, and and they've had the other 12 already?
Oh, fuck, hang on. It's a very Merry Muppet Christmas movie.
What?
I think he might have been in a Christmas movie.
He was in the Muppets?
Yeah.
Which Muppet would he play?
I think it was live. I think he was playing
Oh, imagine.
Puppet.
Imagine if you played Shaggy.
Luke Fromage.
Luke.
Luke Fromage? Luke Fromage?
Where is it? Hang on.
It's like
Luke, but it's French.
yeah,
It's Luke Cheese.
Luke Cheese.
Yes.
Who did he play?
Luke Fromage.
No, we have. Yeah. Anyway, let's. Well, I guess are we going to go?
Can I just say? Imagine if the Muppets did like they just turned up in one of the Scooby Doo movies.
Ooh, I would prefer if Scooby Doo. No, if Scooby and Shaggy appeared in the Muppets.
Oh yeah, that'd probably
That'd be better. I think the Muppets is a better platform for them to appear in than it is the Muppets to go to a Scooby Doo film.
Yeah, true.
Sorry, Scooby Doo, it wasn't that great. Should we just dive straight into it then?
Yes.
Oh, one last thing. He's vegetarian. I think the actor's vegetarian, or
And
at least his character is vegetarian.
Yeah, we were talking about this
Randomly.
It's like you said that the actual character of Shaggy may have been made to be vegetarian,
In that film, yeah.
which just make you wonder what the fuck are Scooby snacks made out of? Because a dog is eating them.
I don't know.
This dog, despite the fact he can talk, could be completely malnutritioned.
Well, that would explain a lot.
Yes,
It's a very weird dog.
it is.
I think it's a bit lost as well. Okay, so the first rating...
Speed.
Speed. Shaggers. He has...
But
Somebody...
now we're not going to just say when we're talking about Shaggers, we're not going to go all into the meme and think that he's a god. We're not doing
Film
that.
theory guy. He
What,
worked out his power
Did he?
Yeah, he did a video working out like his power in the same sense of like Dragon Ball. Back in Dragon Ball Z,
Right.
You know, like people say it's over 9,000.
Oh, okay.
His power was like 200 and something. He ain't that powerful.
Okay, right.
He's
so,
like bare basic.
right.
It's just because of like some of his feats he's done, like where he's been able to jump off rocks that are falling,
Right.
which is obviously defying physics.
I mean, that's quite agile, though.
He's pretty agile. Also, he could be like, I think there was like a period where he went into hypnosis and he was able to just beat up old biker gang with his just pure cuck strength. Just anyway, speed. He's pretty agile for somebody who eats a lot. He's skinnier than I am.
But that's just being vegetarian, clearly.
That's not. Yeah. For speed. Was that no? What's that more?
Right. Okay. Right. So in which case, I'm going to find your speed because we did our own cards. Your speed is 20.
He's definitely faster than me. He's got years of experience. I think he lives in Los Angeles as well. So,
of course.
And everybody in Los Angeles just wears jogging bottoms and just jogs everywhere. So he's got to be faster. Give him a good solid 26.
Okay.
Above average.
26. Just above it. Well, intelligence. Now, he's a trained actor.
He is.
As in the bloke. I mean, we are technically rating the character, not the bloke. But I mean, it was coming.
They're almost one and the same at one point.
Right. Okay. So does that mean that in canon of Scooby Doo, then Shaggy is a classically trained actor? So why is he going around solving mysteries? In fact, actually, how did they all get that job?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think they just sort of formed it. Yeah, but here's a question. If these people suspect these ghosts and stuff are real, why are the police not dealing with it?
Yeah, and
why have they got Mystery Incorporated and the people to trust?
Yeah, and also, why do they carry on going to these places?
By now you would have realised none of it's real.
And who's... Yeah, I'm starting to think that that Mystery Incorporated could just be like some sort of cult.
I think it's just a scam.
Because to me, Fred seems like a charismatic cult leader to me. He seems like
he's a cult leader.
He sounds like a Ted Bundy. He looks like a Ted Bundy kind of chap. I think there's. I think.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wasn't he like a jock?
Ted Bundy. Or...
No, Fred. Ted Bundy's not. Fred was meant like a jock.
Well, Ted Bundy was more of a ladies' man, but
he was
Ted Bundy.
So was Fred.
He's getting with
Shit,
Daphne.
you're right.
Yeah, exactly. So Fred is
Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy.
We're not talking about Fred though. We're talking about Shaggy.
No.
Shaggy. What are we doing now? Sorry, it's
intelligence.
I don't know. I really don't know. He's a simple man with simple tastes.
True. So does that mean it's a low score?
Yes.
14?
No, not that low. Although he's able to talk to a dog.
That's...
Is that like hyper intelligence or like?
But the dog talks though. The dog speaks English.
Or does it?
To be fair,
or is he just completely smashed?
But the thing is that there's no evidence that it's just dialogue between the two of them. So I don't think that he possesses some sort of ability to talk to dogs.
No,
I think technically the fact that given that the dog can understand and can speak English, anybody who was or any language, just anybody who can speak to
I'm pretty
Scooby-Doo.
sure nobody else communicates to Scooby apart from Shaggy.
Are you sure?
Well, not direct. Nobody's ever had a dialogue with Scooby. I don't think properly, apart from Velma.
Okay, well there you go then.
But she's probably having to take LSD because she's like super. She's fucking super smart, and she just sometimes has a headache, I guess, and just has a bit of LSD to help. Okay, they're all stoners. I think they're actually all stoners.
They probably are. Yeah.
Subtly. Okay. Anyway, let's just say like 16.
Okay, 16. Let's say they're a cult and it's based around weed.
Yeah.
So and Fred is a Ted kind of Bundy kind of guy. Where did the other four? How did they all come in? Shaggy and Scooby would have been there. They would have come in together.
Yeah.
But what was their relationship before the mystery cult?
You say what was before it?
Yeah, I think homeless.
You think they're all homeless?
No, I don't think they're all homeless, but I think Shaggy and Scooby were because that's why I think they're that homeless.
I think they're hippies.
But why?
I don't understand their backstory.
No, I'm using it. I'm thinking that they eat so much and they're so hungry that I think that they've clearly been in a situation where they struggled to eat previously.
Okay.
I think that Welma was just the sort of person who was just hanging around with the wrong people. She's just from an innocent family, well educated, but just fell and doesn't contact them anymore. And I think that the wrong people she was hanging around with was Daphne. So I think Daphne had been, given that Fred is the Ted Bundy womanizer type. Daphne was instantly kind of attracted to Fred and dragged Daphne Wilma rather into the situation. I think they would have been friends previous. That's my theory.
Who's this? Sorry, who are friends previous? Sorry, that you were saying.
My thinking is that how they got is that Daphne and Wilma would have known each other. Velma, not Wilma.
Wilma. Somebody clearly didn't watch it on the BBC, did they?
Well, I did, but about 10 years ago.
Oh, didn't keep up, man.
Let's say Wilma. Hold on. Velma.
Wilma. I just let you have it.
Jesus Christ. I'm thinking that Velma and Daphne knew each other, perhaps through a college, but then because Fred Bundy, I'm surprised I haven't come up with that name yet already, because he being the womanizer, that got Daphne interested.
Why is this gone so dark?
And Velma inadvertently followed.
No. Why are we talking about it? It's like Shaggy.
Style. Let's go for style.
Oh, his style. I'm going to ask you now, what colour is his shirt?
Green.
Okay, what colour is his trousers?
Brown.
How the fuck do you remember that? I'm looking at
I do.
What colour is his hair?
Kind of brownish.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
He isn't ginger.
No, what's his style? He is...
Daphne's ginger.
Yes. It's kind of like...
Velma's got brown hair.
Yeah.
Fred's
His
Fred's a Hollywood blonde.
I think you'd call it cherry blonde. Is it cherry? No, strawberry blonde.
Strawberry blonde isn't a hair colour. Strawberry blonde is something that you call ginger hair to a kid who is ginger and is depressed.
What do you think?
I
think it is strawberry blonde. That's true. What's his style? Let's say, look at his attire. He is repping the Dropout
He
street.
looks homeless. Doesn't he?
He looks like he got him from the thrift store, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Oh man, he
My
looks like
theory works.
he looks like a student. No, he just does.
Okay, well, what's his style point going to be then?
Low, but I like his style. I wouldn't wear it myself.
Well, okay, right. How would you compare it to say what I am currently wearing? And I'm using this because I'm trying to find my style score.
Well, I think...
Well, I'll start because my style score is 14.
His is like even more default human than you. Yours is like default.
Yeah.
Almost like the default hoodie look.
It's like my look is not drawing attention look.
Like he's wearing just a t-shirt. Just a t-shirt
Yes.
of one colour. The only thing that isn't default, he isn't wearing jeans. They're like brown.
They're almost like they look like ill-fitting chinos.
Yeah. And he's wearing black boots rather than what's the default shoe?
Probably trainers.
Trainers or shoes.
Shoes.
As you know them, just shoes.
Brogues.
Brogues. So he's almost default human.
I'm
gonna give
thinking
him
10.
You want him just to be higher than Shaggy, don't you? You want a high.
Well, look, I just said that the man looks homeless. Of course, I'm gonna want to be above him.
Sean, you're definitely above. I'm saying 9.
Okay, 9. Well, actually, I'm going to put it up to 10 because I feel sorry.
He's
for
got
him.
like a V-neck. He's got like a V-neck t-shirt. You know what?
Yeah, I kind of know what you mean.
It looks a bit awkward. The neck is like a bit low.
It looks like the sort of thing which meant to be like a low cut top for a woman. They just gave up halfway through. So, fuck it.
Oh, it's for a man. Oh,
right.
I'm not saying obviously. I'm not saying clothes are gender specific, but
typically low cut tops aren't
when worn by men.
No.
That's just
because I suppose you could do it if you wanted to show off your chest hair, if you have particularly impressive chest hair.
I don't think that's very fashionable.
No, it isn't.
Why do people?
It isn't.
If you feel like to,
no, I'm not suggesting this is an actual idea.
so if you think showing your chest hair is stylish, you're doing it wrong.
But if you think showing your chest hair is stylish, then you, my friend, are a porn star from the 1970s.
Or he's like 50, which would kind of make probably like 60, 50, 60, kind of like just given up at this point. You're trying to master the fact that you've kind of got a belly now. You've got a bit of a belly. And this chest hair is just from the Anyway, next thing.
Control.
He's useless.
He has no control
He
over the
has
situation that he's
no
in.
control.
And anything that he finds out is almost by accident anyway.
Yeah, right?
So
He'll just bump into... Oh, he's just a coward. Oh, man.
5?
5. It's got to be 5. Man, Shaggy. Shaggy Rogers. His first name is Norville.
Norville.
Norville Shaggy Rogers.
To me, this is actually saying this is more evidence to him being homeless.
Norville Rogers.
Simply because do you know anybody called Norville, or have you ever known anyone called Norville?
Nope.
I mean, I know of actually. Well, no. I mean, actually, no. I do know one Norville. He goes around doing kids shows and then flies about. Oh wait, no, it's Orville.
Ha ha.
Damage.
He's a bit of a disaster. But not intentionally.
Yeah, but then
He's a
again,
passive man.
you said as he was taken over, when he was taken over, he could beat up like a whole biker gang.
That was like one time though.
Yeah.
That was
Also,
one time.
are you sure he didn't just let the dog on them?
No.
Okay.
I think his damage is low. Even though his
No, I think his damage could be slightly big, but I think aggression's going to be like.
okay, he's quite damaging.
So I'm thinking.
Let's put it that way. He's damaging. He doesn't necessarily call
19?
19.
No, actually, I'll go to 18.
18, okay.
And aggression, I think,
Ugh.
is very low because he's just a nice.
He's not. I don't know. He's just a happy. He's a bit of a happy stoner.
He is.
He's just a happy stoner.
In fact, I actually in that case, then our Scooby snacks just weed brown.
No, the idea is he's got the munchies.
Right. Okay.
That's the idea. That's why he eats so much. He's got the munchies.
But how does the dog have the munchies?
It's just been,
Well, I suppose dogs can get high.
yeah, they can. I know.
And
A
it's an
story.
intelligent
I know
dog.
a story of them getting high,
Right. Yeah.
but I can't tell.
But yeah, actually, yeah, but the dog wouldn't know, surely. Also, if he, I mean, obviously Scooby Doo is a hyper intelligent dog, so he will be able to understand what's going on. But for an actual dog, and you're high and you get the munchies, you're not going to know because it's like because that's just an instinct. It'd be like if you got drunk and you had and suddenly you just think, I want to breathe.
It's normal.
Yeah.
I'm still aware.
And you're still doing it.
Yeah, just about.
So aggression's low. I think he's kind of a nice guy, a bit happy. He's not going to damage anyone. He just wants peace and love. And some spare...
No worries, man.
And some and 50 pence spare change so I can get a pack of Doritos.
Oh, he was good with spice.
Of course he was.
Really good with spice.
How does that come up in the storyline?
I don't know. Just
I'm thinking 7.
7. I was thinking lower.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, 6.
Okay, 6. 6 it is. Oh, also, I forgot to mention each character has a special skill. What would a
Oh
special skill be?
shit! Special skill for Scooby.
Well, not
Scooby,
for
Shaggy.
Shaggy.
I guess talking to dog.
Talking to dogs.
Talking to a dog.
Talking to a dog. Not talking to dogs, talking to a dog. A singular dog. Doesn't actually help in the grand scheme of things.
Oh, they're called bell-bottom pants.
Bell-bottom pants.
That's they're known as. Yeah.
Bell-bottom pants.
Yeah.
I mean, is it just like a particularly large cod piece, or? Is it a particularly large cod piece, or?
I don't get it.
Okay, right, I think bell
Yeah.
is in your bell.
Oh, it's immature.
Yes.
Fam, immature.
Anyway, so we move on to my one, and I've
Go
got
for it.
7. I think I've got 7 minutes in the time I left to do it.
That's alright. I'm sure.
Yeah, it's going to overrun this.
That's
one.
alright.
I'm going to go for the relatively unknown. In fact, I don't know much about it. I just know that it happened. Howard the Duck live action movie. Now, I'm gonna
Read the Wikipedia page.
Yeah, I'm just gonna open that now.
There's no shame. There's no shame.
Just so I'm gonna try and read it out and just see any particular. Well, actually, no. What I will do is just to get you in the mood, because I know you probably haven't seen it. Is I'll get some images up, just to show what we are dealing with here. I think that one. I think sums it up quite well.
Okay, what did you type into Google?
Oh, hang on, no,
Image
it's just
Search?
gone to the wrong thing.
What did you type into Google Images?
I just put in Howard the Duck movie,
Ooh.
so we can basically get screenshots.
Yeah.
And here we go. Because when it's live action, it doesn't mean CGI or animated. It is an animatronic duck.
Oh my fucking god!
Also standing next to... I don't even... Like, the most 80s hair that I've ever seen.
That is traumatizing.
That's the most 80s to have ever 80s'd.
That is terrifying. That's terrifying. Oh my god! That's scary. That's actually terrible. That's uncomfortable.
It is...
It looks like I know who it is. It's it's Chica from Five Nights at Freddy's.
yeah.
There you go. Bam.
Actually, that's just a plot synopsis, I think, or summary that's on the Google thing here.
Yeah.
In this film, based on the comic book character, Howard the Duck is suddenly beamed from Duck World, a planet of intelligent ducks with arms and legs, to Earth, where he lands in Cleveland.
Arms?
With arms and legs.
Where do the arms come out from?
I assume the wings?
Does it not have wings then?
I don't know. That's a bit of... There he saves Rocker Beverly from thugs and forms a friendship with her. She introduces him to Phil, who works at a lab with scientist Dr. Jennings. Mm-hmm. When the Doctor attempts to return Howard to his world, Jennings instead transfers an evil spirit into his own body.
Okay. May I ask, what's the review for this film on Rotten Tomatoes?
Give me a second.
Yeah, I want to know what it is. It's got to be horrendous, right?
Well, I can see the IMDb, and on IMDb it's rated 4.6 out of 10.
That's not terrible?
That's going to be full of a lot of people saying it's ironically good.
Yeah, probably. Like the Scooby-Doo films.
Actually, there's another plot synopsis here, which arguably makes it look even worse.
Go for it.
A sarcastic humanoid duck is pulled from his homeworld to Earth, where he must stop a hellish alien invasion with the help of a nerdy scientist and a cute, struggling female rock singer who fancies him.
Whoa!
What is this and why?
This is a different film. That's a different film.
I'm thinking this is the porno version or something.
Yeah, this is the porno version. I'm sorry, what? This is a different film entirely. There's no sense of spirits going into people's souls. Oh my god. Anyway, let's just go straight into it.
Let's go for Speed. Now, I'm going to treat it as the animatronic, I think, because I think that's probably best.
Is it an animatronic or is it somebody in a suit?
I think it's kind of maybe not animatronic. I think it's somebody in a suit.
Maybe like animatronic.
Yeah. It's practical effects.
Yeah.
Speed. I think this is going to be heavy.
This is heavy. Yeah.
If we're having the college chiefs running around with a drum kit, then this is going to be the same.
If it's a cartoon, may I quickly interrupt rather?
Right.
Like Tarzan, not Tarzan. Sorry, Tasmanian
Devil.
What was his name? What was the name of the character?
Taz.
There you go. He was really quick.
He was.
All cartoon characters are quick.
But this isn't a cartoon.
This is live action. I do apologise.
And I'm treating it as such. So I think it's got to be low. Because imagine if you were running in a big duck suit. With animatronic parts.
One would almost mistake me for actually running in the pram race in Hastings.
Oh, yeah.
One would mistake me for running in that.
Yeah, I suppose so. So I'm thinking it's got to be a low speed. I'm thinking 9.
9. I think lower.
Okay, well about 5.
5. That's horrendously slow.
5, yeah, but that's for intelligence. Now, this is a duck that is capable of sarcasm.
I suppose it's for an intelligent species.
It is.
Self-proclaimed intelligent.
Yeah. So I think intelligence has to be okay. I mean, clearly he's aware that he needs to go to a science lab of some sorts to get himself back to his home world. But then the scientists and him release aliens, apparently.
I think he got thinking by spirit, wasn't it? I don't know. Nobody knows.
I'd assume the spirit is an alien thing which is going to try and help, and they're going to try and release aliens more. A la Loki in the Avengers.
Okay.
Perhaps. I think that's the only time that those two films have been compared, other than the fact that both are Marvel.
Are they going to make a film? Oh, shit! Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Doesn't he make an appearance?
He does.
Yeah, he does.
And in the original, in post-credit scene. But he's very brief.
He's part of the... Wasn't he part of the gang in the second film?
I think it's just a cameo appearance. I don't know.
It wasn't... Now I remember him. He looked like a gang member.
He did.
He didn't look like some hyper intelligent thing. He looked like
maybe he's a mob boss.
He looks like a mob boss from this hyper intelligent planet.
So.
Sorry, that's not helping. So what's next?
Well, intelligence. We haven't got a score for intelligence yet. I'm thinking 20s.
More intelligent than a human.
More intelligent than a human.
It's got different intelligence.
Okay, so.
Suitable for his duckly ways.
What about? Okay, I'm going to try and find your intelligence score. Your intelligence score is 14.
Wow, that's low.
It's quite low, actually.
Why did we give me 14?
I don't know.
Am I an idiot?
Well, I think it was occasionally to do with some of your. Occasionally, you're a bit unaware. Perhaps.
Okay.
I'm sure it made sense when we talked about it.
Well, I want to give him
because you would have agreed to this.
I would have I'm sure I did. I'm sure I totally agreed.
Well, to be fair, we started that off and we didn't have any other things to compare it to.
27.
27.
I think he's intelligent.
That is actually the same intelligence score as me.
Of course it fucking is.
In which case, it's going out to 28.
Ugh.
I'm perfectly fine being less intelligent than a duck.
Okay.
Style now.
Does he wear clothes?
I believe he does. I'm not entirely sure. I'll be honest. I'm currently on the trivia section of IMDb's thing for this film. Just the first one on here is, according to reports at the time of the movie's release, George Lucas had because George Lucas was involved in this, built a $50 million Skywalker Ranch complex and was counting on this film to get him back into black. When it bombed, he was forced to start selling off assets to stay afloat. His friend, Steve Jobs, the CEO of Apple Computers, offered to help by buying Lucasfilm's newly launched CGI animation division for a price well above market value. Lucas, in desperate straits, and thankful for the assistance, agreed. That division eventually became Pixar Animation Studios.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Sorry, Lucas. He did Star Wars.
Yeah.
How did he get Star Wars right? Oh, he didn't know.
Well,
the episode 3, 4. I mean, sorry, not 3. 2, 1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, and 3.
Have its fans. I'm not amazed by it. Amazed by them. I don't know what happened. I think he just needs a hug. Anyway, sorry. Sorry, I was one of the times about Star Wars again. It's good.
Right, okay.
No, next rating.
Actually, so another trivia thing here. On the DVD commentary for the film, one of the commentators claims that George Lucas reassured him that the project would, in 20 years, be seen as a masterpiece. As of the year 2012, the film was still considered one of the worst ever made. But I do believe Howard the Duck does wear clothes.
Okay.
But I'm just going to try and find it. This is overrunning from our normal time thing, but it's fine. But I mean, it'd be weird. Would it be weird if he was already wearing clothes, or whether he was just naked?
Right? Are animals naked?
Well,
they are, aren't they?
In the sense of they're not wearing clothes. Oh, yeah, he does wear clothes.
He's wearing a tuxedo, isn't he?
Hang on, here he is. He looks like a granddad.
Let's see. Jeez, he's smoking as well.
Yeah.
What is this? That's not a good look.
No, that is not.
Not a good look.
By any stretch of the imagination. Freestyle.
Awful. He's just given up.
Control.
No control.
Now I'm thinking
he's a cartoon character in a cartoon.
Well, you could say that he would have had control over his decisions in the film.
How did he get to Earth?
Because he would have eventually saved the day, I'd assume.
Yeah.
But I actually going to use this as a nice little thing. Because one thing that I know about Howard the Duck in the comics, I think I have talked about this before. Where technically, how the original Marvel character Howard the Duck does no longer technically doesn't actually exist in Marvel Comics anymore.
Why did they get rid of him?
No, they had the guy who wrote Howard the Duck. He started it for Marvel, and then he had a bit of disagreement about pay, and then he left, and he went and joined an independent comic company, and he started writing his own Duck-based series
With him?
But no, it wasn't with him; it was with a different Duck.
Oh.
So, but before he started doing this, they said, "Hey, we want to write one more How the Duck story. Can you write this?" And he said, "Well, I don't think so." And then he goes to his new boss, and they said, "Hey, can you do basically do How the Duck?" And he says, "Well, I don't really want to, but I feel like I could." And then through that, they managed to organise this big crossover event between the two things, based around Howard the Duck. Mm-hmm. But there's a last issue which is printed on both Marvel and this other company, and they're both printed on the same thing, and they've been exactly the same up until the very last page of the last issue. Because the way the story goes is that there's this big kind of there's a load of different parallel world ducks end up in this place, and they've got to try, and the heroes have got to fight off the villains and try and put them all back in the right place.
Yeah.
In the Marvel one, they managed to do that, and it's all fine. In the independent one, there's an extra panel, and just after the thing's ended, the villain in one last act takes Howard the Duck, swaps him with a different duck, and takes Howard the Duck back to the independent comics universe.
Oh right.
So when they started they started this the new thing, I think called Land of the Duck.
Yeah.
They claimed that they basically said this is the actual Howard the Duck that has come over.
Right.
And then when I was reading this, I'm not reading about it. I heard about it in the video, and he says the guy describing it says then the guy who was writing it died, so he wins. So Marvel can no longer fix it.
Oh shit.
So this is clearly a duck that has no control over it to the point where he doesn't even exist.
No.
Technically.
What is the name of the god in the Marvel universe? Isn't it meant to be?
I think there's a concept called the Eternal.
Yeah. No. I'm saying beyond that, the creators of the isn't in
there's in the comics.
Yeah.
There is essentially a Lady Death, who, because in the comics, that is Thanos' motivation to try and wipe out half of the world, not for balance, but to woo this Lady Death. I believe, or that's one of his original motivations. I think it might have changed, but I don't know necessarily if there's an overall god in there. I don't know.
Well, hang on, who's the name of the writer of the comics?
I can't remember.
Who died recently?
Just the famous Stan Lee.
Stan Lee. He was writer, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So Stan Lee, he's meant to be a god, I think. Well, it's implied, obviously, when all those cameos.
Oh, what, you're talking MCU?
Yeah, I was like, MCU.
What's it called? It's the idea of somebody who basically he just finds himself in all these situations, just like things called the Watcher.
Yeah, the Watchers, they're ones as well, aren't they? He was speaking to the Watchers himself.
Because that's when in his cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, he is playing the Watcher and telling all of these stories to these aliens, and then at the end of the film, in the post-credits scene, one of the post-credit scenes, the aliens have just got bored and they're walking off. He's going, hey guys, don't walk away.
Oh, jeez, guys.
I need a lift home, guys. But anyway, right.
And who's the god in the DC universe?
I don't know. We don't have time.
Sorry.
So Control, is it 0 or is it a minus number?
The fact he doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, so little Control that he doesn't exist.
Have we had a 0 before?
We've had 0 before.
Well, I'll give it a 0 then.
0.
We'll allow it, not minus.
Damage.
No.
This duck, to me, it looks like a sort of duck that would wield a gun.
To be honest, it's damaging upon himself. He looks self-detrimental. I don't think it's damaging to the rest of the world, just himself.
I mean,
look at him in that picture when he was sitting on the armchair. He just ruined himself.
So okay, what do we say then for the score?
Really low or really high? No, low damage.
10.
10, sure.
aggression. To me, this is kind of aggressive. If he's sarcastic, then there's an pardon me.
Pardon you.
Jesus Christ. There's an element of passive aggressiveness.
I'll give that one a 6.5 out of 10.
6 out of 10, which is...
No, 6.5 out of 10.
Well, you can't go for halves, Tim. You can't go for halves. What sort of idiot would go for half scores? You have 50 to play with, not just 10.
I'll give it 7. 7.
7, okay. Did you do that just to see if I would do that?
Yeah, I did. Oh, shit. I just remembered a story I wanted to tell you, but the time's gone now.
We'll talk about it later.
At the beginning of the next section.
Yeah, okay. Special skill. Somehow getting a female rock star to somehow fancy you even though you're a duck.
Wow. I was more thinking, I don't know, just...
Or just...
Beyond universe.
Just technically... Yeah, special skill, technically not existing.
Technically doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
It will resolve itself. It was a big thing about Batman. Like, the original writer was somebody else.
Oh, yeah,
and
the idea was that they were co-writers, but then slowly the guy got phased out in all the things, and then... Yeah, there's...
So nowadays they have to say it was a co-written thing. Those other
I believe so,
He
yes.
died! Mm. And you never know that his legacy has been remembered as the one who created Batman.
And on that weird note, I think that we should move on to the next segment.
Agreed.
Almost satire.
It is almost satire.
Now, normally I try to go straight into explaining what almost satire is, but you left the last segment with a hook saying that you've got a story that you wanted to tell. So why don't you share it all with us now?
So, my sofa.
Your
the
sofa
we're sitting on now. The magnolia leather
creaky
sofa.
Magnolia sofa.
This creaky magnolia sofa. This is the key part. Came from my old house.
London?
When I used to live in London.
You took this all the way down from London to Hastings?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I managed to get up the stairs.
Also makes you
somehow.
wonder why.
Well, it was a good sofa at the time.
To be fair, yeah, it's still relatively comfortable.
So, I decided to make it... recently, so I lost one of my rechargeable batteries down the side of the sofa.
Yes.
Okay? And...
Which is a pain.
Which is a pain, and I desperately needed to get it. And it proved to be... It got into, as I call it, the void.
The void.
It's just an area of the sofa...
Did you find a load of Daleks and Cybermen there? And Rose No, she didn't go into the void, did you?
I'll get to what I found in there.
Okay.
So, the void basically is kind of the material bit at the bottom. It's the void between the springs, because there are actually springs in this, I think. A couple of springs. The springs, and then the wooden frame, then there's just the void. And then it's a cloth bottom, okay? So, I decided to make it my mission to clear this sofa out completely. So, I tip it on its back, so it's like, so the back bit of it is on the floor, right?
Yeah.
And immediately, loads of ceiling come out of it. Loads of ceiling comes out of it.
What?
Ceiling.
Ceiling?
Basically, a few years ago, a big hole out of the ceiling came
Oh, yes, I remember that.
And the sofa used to be there. And so, more of that came out, and I hoovered that all out.
Right.
Out of like those little holes in the cloth material at the bottom. So, eventually, I got all of that out. I then find the battery. But not before I found what is the most common item one loses down the side of a sofa?
I would say either coins or a TV remote.
TV remote.
Right, okay.
I found the TV remote to the very first TV that we had in Melody Road.
Whoa! I didn't even realise it. I didn't even know it was called Melody Road. Even I
used to have Melody Road. The very first, or at the very least, the TV I remember being brought up with. The remote got being lost for years.
Yeah.
And do you know what the amazing thing was? The batteries had a little bit of life in them still.
Yeah.
They hadn't eroded. They were still, when the batteries leak, it's a disaster. And also, I forgot about this. I melted the the remote a little bit.
Melted it?
Yeah,
What, did you just start playing with a lighter?
yeah. No, it was a joss stick.
Oh, right.
Not joss stick. What are they called? I always want
What?
to call them joss sticks. You know the scented sticks.
Incense.
Incense. I don't want to call them joss sticks.
What is
It's
a
weird.
joss stick?
I don't know. I assume it's the same.
It sounds worryingly close to
I
a drop
melted it
strap
with
to me.
an incense candle because I'm a weirdo when I was younger. Also, I found some old Christmas cards down it from the previous owners of the sofa.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, I've just googled. Joss stick is another word for incense.
Oh, there you go then. I found. So the previous owner was actually a family friend's sofa, and they gave it to us because they didn't need it anymore.
Right.
So I found Christmas cards from a Christmas many years ago, before he thought I was born. Before I was born.
I'd love it if it had some like topical references on the cards.
Weirdly,
Where it's like,
Well, yeah.
hopefully your big wall doesn't come down this Christmas.
what else did I find? Oh yeah, coins. Didn't find that many. Found like
Right,
40p.
okay.
Really disappointed.
They're probably all old currency as well.
No, they're all valid. It's just,
Oh, right.
It's just 20p's.
Oh, well, I did actually notes of currencies
Yeah.
on my St Michael's Hospice round. I was actually given a new £1 coin. I remember these only came. When did they come in? Was it 2015?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
2016?
yeah.
That somehow the gold kind of outside bit. In fact, actually, I'll get a £1 coin out.
I did popped out.
No, it hadn't popped out. I'm just getting
Have
this
you
out
got it
for
now?
us. This isn't the one.
Oh, the one. Okay.
I should have bought the one if I realised we were going to talk about this. You've got the silver bit on the inside.
Yeah.
You've got the gold bit on the outside. Mm-hmm. Somehow, the gold bit on the outside had completely rusted.
Wow.
It gone like a kind of copper sort of colour.
Right.
As well, what sort of thing has this coin gone through in 3 years? Mm-hmm. So that it gets to the point where it's in my hand, basically being given to charity, but it's completely rusty. Has this been at the bottom of the sea?
Very strongly oxide. It might have been put in acid.
Might have been.
Just left like, I don't know, battery acid or something. What else did I find down the sofa? What else did I find down the sofa? I found a really weird light, a little toy light from when I used to go to the Cubs. It's something I won as an award for winning an event in the Cubs. I won this little. It's not even a torch. I don't know what it is. It's weird. It was almost like it was like a time.
Like time capsule.
Time capsule in the sofa, which I just found very cool. I don't know. I just wanted to tell that story.
Fair enough.
It wasn't super exciting.
But it's interesting.
It was just interesting. I did find about. Oh, I found Lego.
Okay, right. That's and immediately shot on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that will actually go on and explain what the hell Almost Satire is. And what we do is each of us is we find 3 news stories. We do it in slightly different ways. I trawl over the internet, try and find 3 entertaining stories. Tim uses a resource called the Fake News Game, or is it the Fake News Game? Or is it?
I think it's just called the News Game.
The News Game, and it's basically we try and find 3 kind of funny stories, but one of them has been fabricated or is false.
No,
We will read
no,
it.
no, it's not false.
Well,
It's not false.
is it just fabricated then?
Well, it's your turn now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the news game?
No, I'm talking about just generally.
Your one. Oh, yeah, no, your ones are mildly altered to the point where it's near truth.
Just to make it harder, because mine are recent. You have the advantage that they're recent, and you're more likely to have heard of them. But so I try and do that tactically. But my disadvantage in the Fake News Game is that they happened ages ago.
Yeah.
And there's no real way of telling in the thing. As you can kind of tell, but we kept score. We started. Tim found this Fake News Game long after. So currently, you've got the answer right 3 times. I have fooled you 9 times.
Which is less than. Well, I get 3 stories, by the way. Obviously.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. One of them is fake, and they had to guess which one is
So
fake.
I'm
By the way.
currently doing 25%, where I should be at 3%.
However, for my one, which isn't going to come up this episode, I realise probably shouldn't be bringing it up as a tease, but tune in to episode 42, or the even numbers one if you want to see how this turns out. You have fooled me 4 times, and I have yet
To get one.
right.
Which isn't terrible. You're still just about within the bounds of, well, granted, it's 0. But it's if you'd got 3 of them. Okay, that would be more accurate. Shh, don't worry about it.
Right, okay,
Now,
so...
before we start,
Yes.
I do want to say that I'm gonna just pick one randomly.
Pick on randomly?
Use no logic.
Well, that doesn't exactly make it a particularly interesting game, is it? It's just going to listen and then just say one randomly.
Because I just feel
At least use some logic, come on.
I'll choose a little bit, but it's just being detrimental to me.
Right, okay, so you... Okay.
Or I've overlooked something. Ugh.
Well, we'll
What was
see how...
The last one I got right was the dog one, wasn't it? Because it died rather than gone missing.
Yeah. Tim has often taken umbrage with some of my alterations. But,
What was the most lame one? That always frustrates me.
I think it was the parrot.
Oh,
Alexa.
it was the parrot one, and also the I wasn't annoyed with it. I was okay. I accepted.
Was it the train one?
It was the train one where it literally makes no.
Because you had heard of it, but it turned out I just adapted it in such a way where it was a lie.
And it was so, but the story was still the same.
Yeah. Anyway,
So,
let's move on to the
no
stories.
frustration would be
Tim
completely
hates this
fine.
game.
Okay, I love it. Right,
Well,
let's see the first story.
8-year-old boy sets off on round-the-world trip. The boy, from the city of Astrakhan in southern Russia, had left a note for his mother explaining his intentions, which was later shared online. Having seen the note, his mother contacted the police, and after a couple of hours, they found a boy walking down a street, carrying several encyclopedias, a toy, money from his piggy bank, and a banana. Having travelled on 3 buses before continuing on foot, the young explorer told his rescuers he was already quite tired and wanted a rest.
Okay, next story.
Okay, so you're just gonna no comment on that?
No comment. It's a
Okay.
new tactic.
I mean, I hope if this
I'm sorry, if it's not. I've got to think about entertainment. Sorry.
if this works,
Sorry, I'm
yeah, I was
thinking
gonna say
about
it's not exactly. I did say at the time it's not going to be exactly
I
thrilling.
think that this child is an idiot.
Okay.
And that
Can we just get that out of context? I think this child is an idiot.
well, or is he clever? I like the fact supposedly he's rationalised his decision. He put it across as a rational thing that he's doing. When kids try, I don't know, run away in inverted commas or go missing, let's say of their own choice. I haven't been kidnapped. I'm saying their own choice. It's normally irrational,
Yeah.
completely irrational. This kid has seemed to try to rationalise it, although I don't understand the encyclopedias.
Well, information on where you're going.
I guess.
I mean, not exactly like language dictionaries.
No, I was
but,
about to say, do you want languages?
but maybe he just doesn't have access to those. Maybe he can just go for the next best thing.
Or unless this story's completely lied. Could be.
Okay,
I think. Okay.
Do you want to move on to the next story?
Next story.
Yeah. Ukrainian presidential debate descends into farce.
Mm-hmm.
Current president of Ukraine, Petro Poroshenko, was meant to go face to face with his rival, Volodymyr Zelensky.
Yeah.
However, Zelensky, a TV star and comedian, was unable to appear as a TV show he appears on, Zvati, was filming on the same day, and the network refused to let him go. However, instead of rearranging, Poroshenko debated with an impersonator of Zelensky for 45 minutes in front of thousands of people in Kiev's Olympic Stadium. The move has been heavily criticised by opponents. However, Poroshenko's representatives claim they had been forced to have a debate by the event's organisers.
Interesting.
Indeed.
I know the story that he is a comedian. Has he won yet? Do you think? I reckon he'll win. You know.
I can reveal
Yeah.
that this story was taken a few weeks ago. The election has since happened, and the comedian did win.
Yes.
Well, yes, but also and this is Ukrainian Trump here.
That's all right.
I don't know what his policies are.
No, that's fine.
but
I'm perfectly fine. If he's a comedian, I'm cool with that. Comedians generally have a pretty down-to-earth view.
generally self-aware.
Yeah, and
I suppose that could help.
I'm pleased. It's a new face in politics. Trump is not a new face in politics. He's a disaster. He's an old man who needs to go
Yes.
away. I like this story. Not sure if it's true. Impersonator. No. Not feeling that. I feel like I would have heard that story. Definitely, yeah. Move on.
Okay. Next story. Final story. An American second-tier football team have taken the unusual step of inviting farm animals to their matches.
Okay.
Animals who are permitted to enter the stadium include chicks, ducks, geese, goats, cows, pigs, turkeys, sheep, horses and llamas. Fans who bring an animal will receive free admission, and the animals will be kept in a pen by the pitch with volunteers to look after them, and also receive a complimentary club scarf. This is the animals, not the handlers.
Okay. Wait, the animals receive the scarf?
Yes,
Not the humans?
they put the scarves on the animals.
Fucking sucks. I want the scarf.
The club, Austin Bold FC, are located within the grounds of the Circuit of the Americas, and hope that the initiative will bring in farmers who live in the suburbs of Austin nearby. Not suburbs was the wrong word, but kind of outskirts.
Okay. I'm at this point. Is that the end of the story?
Yes.
I'm at this point thinking about your... Okay, by the way... Oh, I can't ask. No, I can ask. This.
Were you about to ask me what the answer is?
I'm going to ask you now. Have you modified your stories to then slightly less BS?
What do you mean by that?
Like where it's the difference is so marginal that it doesn't change the end outcome.
So you suggest... So I'm asking, have I modified one that is true but not in a way that would have changed it?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, it's not like the train one where they happen to find the body, where at the end of the story, the explorers do... Oh, it's the one that... What was the one that really grinded my gears? About the...
Well, it's the parrot.
The parrot,
We said this already.
Where, like, the story doesn't... Well, it was
It's
just
deja vu.
Yeah, okay. Okay, let's think about it. Let's think about the kid one who was Russian, 8 years old. And he was found by... He was on two buses and walked.
3 buses.
3 buses and walked and said he was a little bit tired. I'm going to think... Let's think if it wasn't a kid... I've got to try and think about the ways you've altered it. Let's say it wasn't a kid.
I like the fact that you just said you were just going to pick a random one.
I'm going to... No, I've given that.
Okay. It's probably better for the entertainment
I think
value.
it could be like a pet animal who's just ran off and they've managed to re-find it after it hopped onto 3 buses and it was found with a banana.
Right.
He just had a banana. Ignoring the encyclopedia part, like, it was a pet animal that I didn't even know. It just left. He ran out. And their owners were looking for it, and they found, I don't know, police.
Did it leave? Are you thinking it left with the banana?
No, he just picked up along the way.
Right, okay.
We just found a banana with
Went
it.
into a supermarket.
Yeah.
Got his card out.
Yeah, like the parrot.
On Alexa.
So what other reasons, how else could you fabricate that story so...
It's reverse psychology, I like it.
If it's like, oh, it's a dictionary instead, no.
No, I would not do that. That'd be low even for me.
It wasn't Russian. He was actually in the Ukraine, like the other story. No,
it turns out the 8-year-old boy is actually the one running for president.
Yeah, there we go. Yes. I can't think of any other reason ways you would fabricate. The kids, Russian, buses. What was he found? Sorry, you said he was.
Right, and I'll just
his piggy bank.
Your money from his piggy bank was one of them, along with several encyclopedias, a toy, and a banana.
Okay, several encyclopedias.
Yes.
Nah, you wouldn't. You didn't say the BS bit. Nah, you wouldn't just make it several something else.
No.
If it is, you can leave. There'll be no part 4 to this podcast.
That would be the Two in the Bush breakup.
No, I can't think of anything. The second story was the comedian whose people wouldn't let him
go to the presidential debate.
I feel like his TV people would absolutely. Like that's his. Unless they didn't. There's the thing where they didn't want him to win, so they wanted to damage his reputation. But at that point, he probably would have left that thing and just got more into politics.
I believe. I mean, I'm not entirely sure about this, but I believe that the debate was going to be broadcast on a rival network.
Right. Again, that's silly because it will look. They would surely have to put that aside. They'll have to put that aside if this guy's running for president. That's such a huge thing. It will look great on everybody who's involved with this comedian. It'll look amazing. So the idea of like, there's a reason why he couldn't make it. Was perhaps different. And you said he had a 45-minute debate with an impersonator.
Yes.
That would... No, I don't think that would happen because that would just be so damaging to the actual current president. It'd be so damaging to his thing. He'd just call it off. Why would they go for an impersonator? Would it be like 45 minutes of the guy just talking to himself? Just talking to the crowd and the crowd just not interested in engaging? He just read stories or something.
Bedtime stories.
I don't know, 45 minutes. He just couldn't... Maybe he was late. And instead they improvised and just had him doing something on himself. And what was the last story?
It was American football team invites animals to attend their games.
The local... If they bring pets...
Well,
if they bring their...
Farm animals. I'm sure you probably can bring a pet.
I didn't know Austin is in Texas, right?
Yes.
Are they big farm? Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of land there.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in every state of America.
Yeah.
I just feel like I would have heard the thing about the impersonator.
Okay.
I feel like I would have heard that in the news. It would have been on Facebook. The animals... Okay, let's think how they could have faded. Instead of bringing their farm animals... Oh, God, that is such a... Is this like a professional team?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
second tier.
That's such a... faff. Like, what if... Yeah, that's such a big hassle. That's huge!
Well, they struggle for crowds. Because, I mean...
No, but like, that's so... So they struggle for crowds, so they thought it would be a good idea to make this whole separate section to segregate animals and work out to divvy them out into the appropriate positions so people don't get them mixed up. And they...
I hadn't actually thought about that. That's a fair point. Just two cows show up and it's just...
Logistically, it sounds very difficult and it would just prolong the game beginning. It'd be hassle for these farmers to get... It'd be less incentive.
I don't think it would prolong the game from the beginning. It'd be a bit of a faff for the crowd. It's not that the animals are playing.
No, it's to be such a hassle to get them out there. Like, this is a really ambitious thing. What would it be, a local incentive to bring da-da-da along? And if you bring da-da-da along, they will receive a free scarf.
Yes.
Or if the scarf's not even real. Let's say it's not...
It just turns out they just get some... They just get a shirt instead of a scarf.
What about this, like... farmers bringing their food, they get free entry and there's like a buffet at the end. Like a big thing where all these farmers get together, you get free entry, it's just a social gathering of people. And it's a good idea and you watch football for free.
You're ominously on your phone there, Tim. You're not Googling.
No, I'm not Googling. No.
Just want to clarify.
Fuck. Damn it! Oh, it couldn't even... it could be the kid story. Okay, I just can't think of a good way you can make that story fake about the kid. Unless it's not a kid and it's a pet, which I said. I think the other one where it's about the guy, it could be the fact... Again, it could just be an animal. Just an animal. He spoke to an animal. Or like he berated this thing for... No, that would be disastrous. He was just like an idiot. Exactly. Maybe I would have heard about it. Oh no! No, I can't believe it. This is so precious. Right.
It's what this game does to you.
Yeah, I know. And the last one, sorry, was the
American football team and letting animals in.
America's weird, and it's big enough, and so...
Again, that I've got out of context. America's weird, and it's big enough.
It's big enough. It could happen. So if I am wrong and with my other three I worked out the answer, I don't know how I feel. I feel like I'm on the right track to winning in the future.
Just baby steps.
Baby steps. Baby steps. But fail until you succeed.
Yes.
You don't fail until
That's what
you
this
give
podcast
up.
is doing.
You don't fail until you... Right, sorry, how long are we going for? Goodness me.
Well, we've still got, on my time, we've still got 8 minutes.
Alright, I'm going to make a decision. I think that the kid story is true.
Okay.
Okay? I think that's true. I don't think of a good way it can be faked. Well, I did. I said it could be a pet that had a banana on it. I don't know where it picked up the encyclopedia. But I feel... Wow, that is a savvy animal. Like, what if it was going it memorised the journey it took and just went and...
Well, to be fair, there are some, to your point, there are some, I think, might be stray dogs in Moscow that have learnt how to use the metro.
The metro, yeah. Or it's, is it Russia? It might be another country as well. It's just, they're savvy and just learn how to... I'm suspicious of you helping. I have to be. You're my enemy.
Okay, right. I'm going to stare at you ominously.
Don't whisper sweet nothings into my ear. You're throwing me off.
Is it Cotton Candy Randy?
I'm afraid I don't know what that is.
Don't you?
No, I'm sorry.
Good Mythical Morning.
Oh, good grief! Yeah.
That's a sweet nothing.
Yeah.
He just goes up to the ear and just goes. There's room for two in the sack where I sleep.
No.
That was on live.
The animals. Shit. It's inconvenient. This is probably going quite long.
Your deliberation process is...
Because I want to win.
Yes, fair enough. That's fair enough.
I'm going to go gut instinct. I'm going to say number 2 really was suspicious. I feel like they'd want him to be there, but for some reason he couldn't be there. And instead the alternative thing was really dumb.
Okay.
And was just damaging. There we go. Number 2. Come on. It's not number 2. Your expression was just like, yeah, go with the bag. Right, I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to do it.
That's like you're facing away from the microphone.
I'm facing away.
You're trying to tell people in the other room.
Yeah, I'm telling...
You're telling your mum.
I'm telling the corridor. Here we go.
Right.
Number 1.
Now I can reveal number 1.
Yep.
But the 8-year-old boy setting off on a round the world trip.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, he got like 3 bus stops down. 3 buses away.
If you got 3 bus stops down and got on 3 buses, he's quite clinically misunderstood what the concept of buses.
Yeah. It's not a very good job. Okay. Oh.
Tim's doing a little dance now, trying to climb himself up. So let's go on to number 2.
Oh, nah. Because at this point I find out, right?
You will find out at this point.
If I win or lose. Yeah. So what's the story again?
This is the presidential debate, and the candidate can't make it, and the other guy debated with an impersonator.
Mm-hmm.
Is fake.
I've won. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I was happy.
Please say you said that deliberately.
Oh, I couldn't remember. I just couldn't remember.
What the fuck was the clapping for then?
I was just clapping. It was either sarcastically or sincerely. Just like you
wrote the line in between.
Yeah, I was just like, it's one of the two. I'll be the one who lost it. I'll take it.
Sorry, that moment was amazing. He's had to build it up and done everything. And you were like, can I get this point? I get the answer. And then the first thing you say is, wait, have I won?
I didn't know. I forgot. Because I was so convinced with the last...
Sorry, that's completely thrown me.
Yeah. I want to know the real story now. What was my guesses were that he couldn't make it, so the guy just did something really weird, which was like tell stories to the audience or just berated the other guy without him being there.
You're pretty much right.
What did he do?
He just basically he because there were journalists there asking him questions and stuff, as the presidential debates would have. But it wasn't actually he wasn't actually on a. He didn't have the other guy. He didn't have a scheduling conflict. They just couldn't agree on a date.
Oh right, yeah.
So I actually looked. If any Ukrainians are listening, then you will know that the TV show Zvati started in 2005 and ended in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
It was just the first thing that was on his Wikipedia page on TV show appearances, so I just went for that. But they couldn't agree on a date, so instead he just basically took out the questions from journalists, and there was just basically just an empty podium right next to him.
Right.
And it was still criticised as like a publicity move and stuff. And Zelensky and the guy who didn't turn up eventually did end up winning. And there's actually a quote here from the article, which I've put in quotes to make sure that I don't read it out before the end. But you being happy about Zelensky being in office, it might be short-lived.
Oh no, why?
Because the quote from the article is hit this. Zelensky has no political experience, has never really articulated a political vision, or had his ideas subject to scrutiny.
Sounds like
What
Trump.
the fuck does he do?
I don't know.
Why do people vote for him? Nobody knows what he does.
It just sounded like he was a joke.
He is just the personality.
Yeah, that's alright though.
That could go badly, because we don't know where he is.
Yeah, but like, I don't
He
know.
could be anywhere.
I hope. I have faith in the guy.
Yeah, hopefully.
I think he's savvy.
Hopefully it could
I think
be
he'll
good.
have a down-to-earth view on how things should be dealt with, and he won't give it. Well, he will have to try and dodge the bullet that is Putin. And,
Yes. The bullet that is Putin. That sounds like a band.
and Trump.
Yes.
I wish him the best of luck, though. I do wish him the best of luck.
And hopefully you don't mess up your country too badly.
Yeah.
You'll certainly know about it if you do.
Yeah.
And yeah, you got right. That means
Yeah.
that the score
Any
is
news about the other about the pet one?
what
Bringing
about
farm animals. He just literally that's it.
yeah.
Okay. No other information. Wow.
No, not what I think of.
Yes. I can't believe I did it. I can't believe I did it.
So that now takes the score to four wins for you, 9 wins for me.
Do you know what's good?
Because you don't know if you won or not.
Yeah, no, it's because
There's
I
a timer.
think 4 to 9 is closer to a third. If it was 4 to 8, it would be a third.
Can I just point out?
I'm closer to now the third mark. Yeah.
I feel like that, given that my score has a narrative of trying to get my first point,
Yeah.
I think yours should have a narrative.
Yeah, my narrative is
And
to
not-
go and break a third.
I think that you should aim. Now you've got this to try and go for 3 in a row.
No,
No, there's a very good reason as to why.
because it's hard.
Well, yes.
The story could end.
It'd be
right
a
away.
great thing. People will be rooting for you, and if you do that, the score will go to 6 to 9. Nice.
It just won't happen. Sozzles. It just won't happen.
that was the look that says, I almost want you to cut that. It just wasn't very good.
No, I don't want you to cut it at all. I just think it won't happen. I'm living.
But you can believe in yourself.
I'm
and
living for
if you win
today.
next week, then it's really on.
Oh well,
Well, it wouldn't
I
be
got
next
it.
week, but, you know,
I was
next time.
happy. I was happy with my working out. Like
You did do well there. I
was
think
like,
working
thinking,
backwards is
why?
probably quite a good idea.
What was your? How could you augment?
The problem
score?
I have with that one is that I don't, because they haven't been fabricated, so I can't really do what you did there. I can't really work backwards because it could just take me down an alleyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go down. Don't go down dodgy alleyways.
It's a different strategy.
Yes. And on that note,
Shall we end?
last segment.
Last segment.
Final segment time.
It is indeed the final segment. We made it.
We made it here.
How long do you reckon we're going to be? About 2:20.
Maybe, well, it depends how long this segment
Yeah,
is.
we'll
We
see
don't
what
know.
happens.
I reckon it might be just under 2 hours, depending on.
We shall see.
But anyway, I mean, you will know in the future, so hi.
Hi.
And anyway, you're probably thinking, wait, hang on, what's this segment? Well, it's called Bottom of the Alternatives, and what we do in Bottom of the Alternatives is each week we take a section of a popular song, look at the lyrics, make every word in those lyrics the opposite, and then we take them here, we read them out, and it is our co-host's job to figure out the original song from the opposited lyrics. It's a simple game. It's the longest lasting segment of our show. We have not changed it since the first one. It's A couple of our segments have either changed completely or had alterations. For example, Almost Satire had a lot of changes.
This is pure.
But this is pure. It stayed the same because it's just a good idea, if I should say so myself.
Which would you say is the most forgettable one we've had?
What, as in section?
Section, yeah.
Probably attempt to be interesting.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the Corwin one.
That wasn't the section.
Well, it was part of...
That was a running joke.
Yeah, the Corbyn annual.
Oh, Corbyn not only lasted for 1 week.
Yeah, I know.
There just wasn't enough material in it.
And also we had... we did have Electric Dreams, but how many episodes was that ago? That was like 5, 6...
I think we got rid of it like 4 or 5 episodes ago.
Yeah, we just like...
That was just for us,
Yeah.
really. But, you know, it's still a good book. We still recommend you to go and buy it.
It's still a good book. I think there's a second book now.
Yeah, you can go and buy a second book.
Buy the book. Electric Dreams by
Jim will paint it.
Jim will paint it. Brilliant.
So, but Tim, there's one last question. And that is, why is this section called Bottom of the Alternatives?
Well, Shaun, the reason why it's called...
So I said yes then.
Ah.
I actually said well, Tim, but I meant to say
you're
yes.
engaged. So...
Am I?
Yeah, you can play it from...
Am I? I haven't got any rings on my fingers.
I get it.
I mean, are you asking?
No.
That's really throwing you off, isn't it?
From the from the mid 20th century to the very early 21st century, there was a British Broadcasting Corporation show called. Okay, it gives me the approval because I remember.
You always used to forget corporation.
Yeah, there's a British Broadcasting Corporation show called Top of the Pops.
Oh my god!
Top of the Bops.
Top of the Bops.
Bops.
Oh, why is it not called Top of the Bops? It should be called Top of the Bops.
Where?
Because if you think a good song, you think, oh, that's a bop.
Where
it's a
every
jaunty
week...
song. Can somebody make a thing called Top of the Bops, please?
I'm sure it's a thing already. Once a week. Oh no, a couple of times a week, or just during the week. The biggest bands at the time, many one-hit wonders we've never even heard of. I love to get excited about it when Mum watches the old ones. I'm like, when they're doing like a ranking thing from like 50 to like 10.
Right.
I'm like, who's the biggest at the moment? Like the biggest songs at the moment. And like when some random one comes up, I go to like because they say like down at number like they've gone down the table. I go to Mum saying, "Oh, you're outrageous, Mum. You should ring them up." And try to get Mum hyped about it. And she's just like, "Old Tim." I'm like, I was trying to get her and get. Anyway, point being, every during the week they would have the biggest pans.
He said pans.
Biggest pans.
Biggest pandas.
Biggest pans on top of the pops.
Top of the pops.
Biggest pans would...
Bop that pussy just like you should. No.
No.
I didn't even think about that.
Biggest bands would perform live, inverted commas, in front of a live audience.
Audience were alive.
They were alive.
They weren't dead.
And some of
the
them...
pandas.
Man, I watched this really terrible thing where this guy was like on the top deck, like he was one of the presenters,
right? And
he was announcing things. And this like girl that was on the side, she didn't know like when the camera was going to pan away. Like often when the music they pan the camera away when the band was about to perform,
right?
And so she jumped the gun, thought the camera was about to pan, so she just manically just goes woo, just because often like before like when they announce the band that's going to perform, everybody goes woo. They don't really care who they are, but she did it to the wrong band.
Oh.
So he was just listing them off, and she just went, "What?" Just for no reason. And the only one. It's so funny. Anyway, it was a good show. It was alright. Yeah, Reggie Yates did it in FirmCon.
He did.
They were pretty
and
cool.
she did as well.
And she did. So anyway,
should we
get the name?
With it?
Bottom of the top of the pops. You get bottom of the alternatives.
God, Tim,
change the name round.
I mean, I've been there myself. But
It's coming up to 10:30. It's getting on. I'm struggling. Okay, let's just. Can I go first? Because I nearly sung it like 3 times.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so mine is very simple. You hate a person, or a person hate you. Therefore, little, this I dismantled a French socialism.
Hang on, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Right, so it's...
You know it straight away.
Oh, I do.
You hate a person,
I do.
A person hate
Stop
you.
it there.
Okay.
That is the Charles II thing from Horrible Histories. It's just thinking French socialism and for English. What could it? Oh, because I'm just thinking. I just heard the I love the. I love the people. Okay.
You hate the person, or a person hate you. Hates you.
We're getting very quick at doing these.
Little This, I dismantled a French socialism. I could have gone on, which was like, I'm part Scottish.
Oh, that would have been
I'm
confusing.
part Scottish, Dutch, Italian, and a little bit Dane. I would have probably, I don't know, I would have maybe done like sarcastic thing for Scottish. I would have just said, I'm part Celtic.
But hang on, a sarcastic one. Sarcastic one for each one of them.
Yeah.
So you'd have said, I'm all sober.
Sober.
Was it Dutch, Italian? Sober.
I don't know.
Sober.
Dutch. So it'll be
Sober probably fits as well.
yeah, sober.
Sober.
Italian.
Organised. And
All the
bacon.
Danish and bacon. Yeah, we go. I'm 100% party animal.
You're.
No. What's the next lyric?
I thought
Party animal.
party animal.
Champagne.
Okay.
You're
Right.
such a loser. You're such a loser, aren't you? Just haven't watched it, did you?
Well, I mean, I did watch it, but just didn't at the time. No, I did at the time, but I just didn't know. What? I'm confused.
It's like childhood.
It is childhood, but I mean, maybe she'd have done the Viking one, or
Which one was the Viking one?
it was the when they were meant to be like a boy band or something. I think,
Yeah.
or like a rock band.
Yeah, I remember. We're gonna. What's he gonna do?
What was it? A parody? It was a parody of the song. I can't remember what. Also, I remember they did. They parodied Highwayman by Adam and the Ants for Dick Turpin.
Yeah, that was good. Everybody knows the story of Dick Turpin, and was it? Oh, I can't remember. It was good. I know the one that was the Vikings was.
I think from memory, the last line was don't hang. I think don't hang out with Highwayman because you'll be hanging from a rope.
Yeah,
This is quite a dark lyric when
it's
you think
not
about
fun. It's not fun hanging with highwaymen if
it. When
you're
hanging from a rope. Dun. Right.
The
Anyway.
Viking one, just the only bit I can remember is literally.
Oh yeah, it was. It was literally. I'm trying to remember what it was. Yeah. It was. We're gonna paint the whole town red. Literally.
What was that? Wow, look at that spike. What was that?
We had a lot of spikes this episode.
What was that parody of?
I can't remember.
Oh, do you remember Cleopatra?
Oh god,
Cleopatra.
that was
Oh, Lady
awful.
Gaga. Man, I never really understood her.
What, Lady Gaga?
Yeah.
Well,
What was her jam? Like, she was just interesting.
she just wanted to be Madonna.
Yeah. Right, here we
To
go.
be fair, but good thing she didn't become Madonna because Madonna. But by the 90s, Madonna was basically just doing softcore porn.
Not wrong.
Anyway,
Yes, here we
I'm
go.
going for my one. My bottom alternative goes as follows.
Yep.
Can I blind you sitting there? You took your back through a Spotify playlist. You're at best I blinded. Can I blind where I imply? But definitely don't fall.
Okay, first line. It was good. I liked it, by the way.
Right,
I
okay.
was really trying to process it because I was trying to keep up with the writing, but I'm not quick at it.
Tim is not fluent in
I'm
shorthand.
not. Okay, here we go. So first line was
Can I blind you sitting there?
can. Okay, so can. I'm not gonna do can yet. So can I? Can something you see?
You see.
Can I blind me?
What?
You see me?
Well, yes, you see me
Can
sitting
you,
there.
standing
Yes.
here.
Yes. An opposite of can is very simple.
Can't.
Yes.
Can't you see me standing?
Can't you see
here?
me standing there?
Oh, fun! Another depressing one, eh? Just gonna sit.
Well-
Just gonna sit in my car in silence.
Well, this isn't a depressing sounding song. The lyrics may well be, but
Okay. Can't you see me standing here? Next line was
next line was you took your back for a Spotify playlist.
I gave.
It's got
I got
your
your front. Yeah.
No, it's my opposite of your.
Oh, I got my
Yes.
front. Back. Front?
Oh, sorry.
Is it the back the same?
The word is back. I
Yeah.
meant to put front. I put the wrong thing in. Whoops.
I got my back.
4.
Backpack.
No. What's the opposite of 4?
Opposite of 4. This is 4. I don't know. What is the opposite?
Okay,
of 4?
well, let's say you're for something. What's the opposite of being for something?
Useless.
No.
Not appropriate
Okay, no,
for the task in hand.
No, okay, no, you've gone down the wrong track. Okay.
Yes, I've completely gone the wrong track.
So if you're for, not as in for something as in is your purpose. If you're for something as in you're in favour.
This is not helping me anyway. Just give me the letter. Give me the word, fam.
Really?
I'm not asking for much.
It's against.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm so
That's
dumb.
quite simple.
So dumb.
And then this one, a Spotify playlist. And I'll give you some clues here. So think about.
Spotify is a music service.
It is something. It is to do with music. And
Is it like iPod?
No, you're
Walkman?
a bit further back. A little bit further back.
Record?
It's record machine. I would have accepted record player as well, but I think you're pretty much there.
Think so?
Yeah.
Sorry, my phone made a weird noise there. Got my
So
record.
got my back against the record machine. People probably know it by now, or might do. I don't know.
Next line, I don't know.
To be fair, this is the sort of song that's only known for the hook.
Can't you see me standing here? I got my back against a
Record machine. Not wrecking ball. That's a different song.
Wrecking ball.
I can tell you, it isn't wrecking ball.
Okay.
You are a best. I blinded.
You are.
It's not are. It's.
I'm not.
It ain't. But yeah.
I ain't. Ugh, slang.
It's duh.
The
Best.
worst. I ain't the worst.
I.
You. You.
Blinded.
You see.
You seen. Because it's
Seen.
past tense.
Okay.
Can I blind where I imply? Remember,
Can't you see me?
no, the word is where.
Where?
There's in the word that's in the thing is here. What's the opposite of it? It's another W
Where?
word.
Here. Who? When? What?
What?
What? Can't you see what?
I kept the same by accident. So imply. We talked about this because I struggled with it a bit.
Say.
It's mean.
Mean. You see me standing here.
There's one more line.
Oh, fuck.
If you can figure out what the one word is in this line,
Yeah.
you will get the
You
song.
think so? Okay.
Which is kind of a victory by default. It's just not really a guess. It's just
Don't
guessing
know
it.
the
But
song.
definitely,
Possibly.
simpler word for possibly.
Maybe.
You're on all the right times with it beginning with M.
Might.
Might.
Yeah, might.
Now, don't, which I just
Do.
put in there because it makes sense, because I couldn't really think of one for this.
Do.
But the phrasing is actually as well. But I decided to combine it as a two. So instead of might as well, I went for definitely don't.
It says might as well.
And this is where you're going to get it.
Kill myself! That was
I think that's might be what the song's about, because the word is fall.
Might as well fall.
No, as in that's the opposite of word.
Might as well rise.
Not rise. It's an action that you can do to make yourself rise, briefly.
Viagra.
That's very good. That is very good. It isn't. Imagine if the song was the song was "Can't you see me standing here? I got my back against the record machine. I hate the worst you ever seen. Can't you see what I mean? Might as well Viagra."
I should have said might as well have a cheeky wank. Should have said that in front of you. No, that's true.
Well, I
make
think
you
Viagra
rise?
was funnier.
What will make me rise, cheeky wank? Quickly.
That's how Caesar got to power.
There
Cheeky
we
little
go.
wank.
Right. Might as
If
well.
anything, that's how Cleopatra got involved. That's right.
Might as well. Fall was the opposite. Rise, stand, sit up, stand.
Tim, I don't think I can give it to you at this stage.
Give me the word. Give me the word.
Because I think at this stage you've not guessed this.
No, I might. Give me the last one, fam.
No, look, Tim.
You've given me one so far. How much hurt is it to give me another? Fool.
No, because Tim, this is the right. It's entitled to the song. It's the title of the song.
Yeah, well, I still might not get it.
Look, Tim.
No.
Right. Okay, Tim.
Fool.
I'm not going to give you the
No,
word.
no. Tell me if I get it right. At least tell me if I get it right. Okay, it's not full.
It's not full. Okay, I'll give you.
So rise.
I'll give you a minute.
Stand.
And if you can't get it in a minute, then I'll
Jump.
indicate. Jump. The song is "Jump" by Van Halen.
How's it go? Jump. Jump in. It's not that song, is it?
No, it isn't that song.
Do you know that song though?
I do know that song.
Okay, it's not that one.
But it's probably most well known for its instrumental bit. It's no, hang on, I bodged that.
But I buzzed it.
That went into a different key. I went through.
I do know it.
Yes.
It's a meme song.
Is it?
Tomska likes it as a meme song.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, it was at the end of Coming Out. Do you remember at the end of Coming Out of the sketch Coming Out by Tomska?
Was it?
Yeah, when the horse goes. It was the marriage, and he goes. And the
Oh
horse
yeah,
claps,
yeah,
and he
yeah.
goes, dum, 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 dum.
It's so weird to do the
very hard.
instrumental
Very
because it's very simple in your head, but you just don't do it. You just can't quite do it. Yeah, I think what it is it's a case where you kind of forget where the second and third notes are.
It's really hard.
So you just
You're going to go up or down.
Basically, the melody that we know is yeah, that's the melody you know. It's
That's all we know.
So,
I didn't even have words.
yeah, of course, yeah, we would have words.
You can see me standing here. How's the rhythm go? See me standing here.
No, you're.
I got my back against.
It would be a lot quicker than what you're doing, I think.
I ain't got the words. Might as well wank.
Might as well. You got something on your mind?
Might as well have Viagra.
Don't do it now.
Might as well have a cheeky Viagra.
And just so Tim doesn't start pleasuring himself live on camera, well, not on camera, on audio. I think we should bring this to the end of the podcast. So thank you very much for listening. If you've enjoyed it, then please do subscribe to whatever you happen to listen to us on. Give us a 5-star review on iTunes because we got beaten by somebody's house. He's got a 5-star review that simply says good. Please just give us a 5-star review and just say good. Even if especially if you're the same person who gave the review to that house. Give us that. If you want to get in contact with us, you can email us at
Stay slowly so they get clear enunciation.
2inthebushpodcast@gmail.com.
Is it 2 as in the number 2 or TWO?
To be fair, I've never said that, but it is TWO.
TWO in
The Bush.
the bush.
It's the name of the podcast. To be fair, if it was the number 2, then the number 2 would be in the name of the podcast.
Yeah, but like could be edgy. Maybe want to condense it down, make it easy to remember.
What are you going to spell Bush with a Z?
People, there's different types of 2, isn't there? There's 2 TO, TOO, TWO, and the number 2.
Yeah, I suppose. This is going
2 is less ambiguous.
This is going into Dumb and Dumber territory.
No, but 2 is
Dumb
less
and Dumber 2.
ambiguous. Yeah, that's funny.
But well, the title
So
was
TWO in the bush
at gmail.com, or you can get us on Twitter. It is at 2 again TWO in bush pod.
Anything on Twitter?
No.
Oh.
we need people to contact us. We need to know that you're out there.
We need analytics.
There's one person who seems to very constantly listen from SoundCloud thing, who lives in Ashburn, Virginia. We want to hear from you because you're the one constant that we've been able to find.
Really? It's one guy.
Well, it's one consistent kind of constant that's there. So,
how long for?
I can't
Like
remember.
day one?
I don't think day one. I mean, if you could just be one of my dad's friends on Facebook, in which case, then thank you for sticking around.
Do you reckon if he's all the way from, where did you say, from
Ashburn, Virginia.
He's probably got a VPN at that point. If he's one of your
It's a
dad's
fair
friends.
point. There could be VPN listeners
Yeah.
going in. What else? If you want to hear more of me and talk about wrestling, I mean, I don't know why you would, but you could. If you wanted to, you can get my solo podcast. It's called Throwing the Book. It's about fantasy booking, hence the name. You can find that on iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, and Acast. And I think that's all I've got to plug.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm on the brink.
You're just desperate for a wank, clearly.
It's the drop off the Viagra.
But the thing is, Tim's so skinny that his whole body's gone.
I've just shriveled up, my head shriveled up.
and while you turn into a raisin, I think, Tim, while you still can, say goodbye.
I can't remember what it was. Thanks for listening. Just thanks.
Yeah,
for
thanks
listening.
for listening.
Thank you.
We'll say, before you become a raisin, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from the unraisined me. Goodbye.